Frisco. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Tastes like Miller time. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Lucchese, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com, make your crypto play today. Buffalo Wild Wings. If it's game day, Buffalo Wild Wings is the place to be. Altec Lansing. Just listen with Altec Lansing, perfecting sound since 1927. And by Omni. Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, your hosts, Nicole Hutchison and Brad Sham.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. It's the Happy New Year edition of the Cowboys Hour. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you for being here with us at Sidecar Social in the Star District in Frisco. And last week we said that we had 2 more shows, and then someone miscounted. This is it. This is the maraschino cherry on the Sunday of Mondays. See how you like how I did that?
I see what you did there.
All year long, we're just delighted to have those of you who have been here almost every single week. Give yourselves a big round of applause. The Victory Monday Fan Club. You guys have been really loyal, and believe me, we really appreciate you. We, as always, are very grateful to the people listening wherever you're listening on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, streaming whenever and wherever you're streaming on DallasCowboys.com. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. Thanks very much. And I could not be more pleased with closing out our series of programs this year with one of my all-time favorites, Cowboys Special Teams ace, C.J. Goodwin. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so
really
much.
Appreciate
Thank you so much for that intro, man. I appreciate that.
I've said many, many times, if the Cowboys had permanent captains, C.J. Goodwin would be easily the captain of the special teams. And it's been an adventurous year for the whole team, but on special teams. And so what this will be is it'll be kind of a year in review, but I think, because we've talked about it before, I just don't ever think that enough people really know the C.J. Goodwin story. So we're going to retell some parts of it because there's an old saying in comedy that there's no old jokes, only old audiences. So if people haven't heard parts of a conversation you and I have had before, then we may as well have never had it for their benefit, right?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense.
How you feeling physically?
I feel great. I feel the best I've felt in years after a long season like this. So,
Now, of course, last year you were hurt.
Right.
But tell me about feeling great. Have you done something different? I mean, you're 10 years in.
11. Yeah.
That's what I said. 11 years in. And you're showing as much energy and enthusiasm as you have in all the years you've been here, certainly. Why do you think you feel so good? Have you changed something? Is it mental? What do you think?
Sleep. Honestly, sleep. I think the older I get, the more tired I get at night. So, yeah.
I feel you.
I was just going to bed a little bit earlier, man. Honestly, I do the same. I get my massages every week. I stretch. This is my routine. But the coaches and the training staff do a good job of taking care of us. We had a day called Stay Day on Fridays, and they take good care of us. 2 hours where it's mandatory. We do body work. And that's been a blessing in my career as well.
That is something that Mike does. We all had to kind of get used to it when he came in 2020, and then that was a COVID year, so that almost doesn't count. But he has a practice. It's not a full pads knockdown practice, but y'all practice on Saturday.
Right.
And most teams that I've been around have not practiced on Saturday.
Right.
Practice on Friday. And so that stay, it's an acronym, right?
Nobody knows what it means.
STA. You know what it means, Nicole? I've seen it. Maybe we'll find it. But it's an acronym for a system that is designed. It's a recovery system for your body. Right. And then he believes in the ramp up on Saturday. Do you think? Obviously, you think that's been an effective.
The
system.
ramp up.
That both Friday and Saturday, just a different way of doing
Friday's cool. Friday's cool. Saturday, it took some adjusting because nobody has ever been through that with him. But we learned to love it.
How has it changed over the years since you've been here?
It hasn't.
It hasn't?
No, that Saturday, as soon as he came, he brought that with him. So we've been doing that. But wherever else I've been, it's been Friday is our fast Friday. Saturday is like a walkthrough. So he just flipped that. It's cool.
Okay.
John Fossil spoke today. The coordinators talked to us on Mondays. So this was the last time that we'll get to talk to them formally this year. And he was talking about the unusual year it's been for special teams. And when he was talking about you, he said, of course, what a tremendous influence on younger players. What a terrific athlete you are. And he said he's got a lot left in him. And so that's one of my questions for you. How do you feel like you got a lot left in you?
I do. It's not up to me, unfortunately. It's up to the NFL and GM seeing my value. But yeah, I feel like I know for a fact that I can do another one and play at a high level. But after that, I mean, it's up to God. But yeah, I know I got some left in me. Yeah.
What tells you that, and what feeds your hunger to keep doing it after 11 years?
I love the game for one, and I love being around the young guys, seeing their transformation in the league. It's cool, man. Even getting to be around, some of the stars and having an influence on those guys. I talked to CD today just about some man-to-man stuff, and it was like, man, I'm in here talking to CD. He's really listening to me. Yeah, so like just being around stuff like that, man, it's a blessing, man.
What's more left do you feel like you have to show in this game?
I don't feel like I have too much to prove to anybody. It's more about me proving that I can still play at this level. Once we go through my story, you'll see why, like, where kind of my hunger comes from, and I'm proving it to myself that I belong here.
Absolutely.
So that mentor, leader, father, confessor kind of thing that you're talking about with CD. This is not the first year you have been in that role. I'd say it's been, maybe about 3 years anyway.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, it's been a few years.
When do you think you kind of felt like that was something that was becoming part of your value to the team?
Definitely when Mike and Coach Bones got here. It kind of, they've added me to the leadership council. They just seen how I was in the locker room. Just how,
right away?
Yeah, year 2 with them.
Yeah, so 21.
Yeah, 21. Yeah, they added me to the leadership council, and it was cool. They just seen how I was in the locker room. I just talk mess to everybody all day, and they just, everybody laughs, and I can take a joke. So, and the coaches kind of see me maneuver through the locker room. They was like, man, you can really be, an asset to this team off the field. So, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool to be thrust into that position, and I'm very appreciative of it.
Go ahead. How has your leadership role changed over the past few years, or since you've been here? Or has it changed at all? How you approach, and you have different guys coming in every year. So how has your leadership role kind of changed?
It changed from being more of a brother to I don't want to like an uncle, if that makes any sense. Some guys actually call me Unc, but now it's like I'm talking to him like an uncle now. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And so when they come in now, they see that right away.
Right. They see that right away. I'm OG now. Everybody they want to clown an OG. 30 something. I don't want to tell my age.
Yeah.
No. 34.
Not gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah, 34 in real life is pretty pretty young. But in football, it's like, yo, you're an old guy. You know what I'm saying? So they look at me like, man, I've been through a lot of things in the NFL, and I've been through probably what they went through, other than getting $100 million. But yeah, so I've been through a lot, so they can, they know I've seen it already.
Well, it's interesting. When players come in the league, you came in the league as a free agent with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I don't think it matters if a guy comes in as a free agent or a first-round draft choice. You've all been the best players in college and the very best players in high school. So why would you not have big dreams? Think of, I can do whatever it is. Why would you not think you're going to make hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars when you come in?
Absolutely.
So at some point, that realization comes to you that, okay, I am not going to be that guy, but I'm this guy.
Right.
And how does that get to be enough?
just being a star in your
See, that's a question you ask a dunk.
Yeah, okay, I like that one. I like that. Let's unpack this a little
Yeah,
bit.
absolutely. That's why we're here.
Nah, just being a star in your role, just having that pride in what you do. It doesn't matter about the hundreds of millions of dollars. I worked a regular job before. I worked for every 2 weeks. I was getting $800. So I kind of understand. Like I would much rather be a star in this role than working on a farm and being a farmhand. So you look at it as a blessing. Count your blessings always. But like I said, being a star in that role, whatever role it is, be the very best at it. And I mean, this is the lowest role in the NFL is, you look at it like, man, it's a blessing to be here anyway.
And you can be a star in that role.
Absolutely.
All right.
How much do you find yourself kind of teaching that to guys that come in and have that same type of journey as you have?
It's a blessing because we have coaches that teach it as well. So I just follow their lead, and they have me in a room that's been through that. So like Bones, for instance, he's very transparent with guys. He'll tell guys 2 days before the game, like, hey man, this is what they're saying about you. This is probably why you're not going to play. You don't get that from a lot of coaches around the league. So that's a blessing to have that. And he basically saying like, yo, when you get that hat on, do whatever you got to do to make sure they don't take the hat away from you. One thing that I always like to say to the younger guys though is whatever got you here, like whatever, if you're strong, be strong. If you're fast, be fast. Anytime that you're on that field, anytime that the film is on you, make sure that you're that guy that you were when they picked you. So guys been living by that, and we got a good group of young guys.
A lot of wisdom to be had from C.J. Goodwin, which is why he's our guest on the Cowboys Hour this evening, and we'll be back with more with C.J. in just a moment.
Back. Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
And when they say supported by Albertsons, Nicole Hutchison, what exactly do they mean?
I knew you were going to do this.
Yeah,
Try to
but
catch
you're
me
not
slipping.
ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. Albertsons, when it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Albertsons and Tom Thumb. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Albertsons and Tom Thumb, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
See, I cannot put one over on you. I'm Brad Sham. CJ Goodwin, the Cowboys defensive back and special teams ace, is our guest tonight. Scott Agulnik from the Cowboys public relations staff. This is why he gets the medium-sized bucks. At one point, Scott looked it up. I mean, I'm not going to lie, right? At one point, STAA, with the stay program that you do on Friday, stood for soft tissue activation and application.
Soft.
So thanks for looking that up,
Thanks,
Scott.
Scott. News to me, man. Thank
See,
you.
and you know, it doesn't look this year like it's worked because of it's kind of a joke because obviously mentally it's a great thing for you guys after a practice week. But what's the injury? Getting used to the injury stuff being everybody in the world. And by the way, this is not the only team going through it.
Right.
What do you think of that?
It just hit us this year. The injury bug just hit us this year. It's a part of the game. You have years like that. I just wish it wasn't this year when we really had a good shot if everybody was healthy to make a run. But it's a part of the game.
What do you do as one of those leaders in this room or in this team in general? How do you keep the mental there, like the mental strong for this team when you are dealing with so many injuries?
The good thing about our team is we do have a lot of young guys. And we got a lot of guys, free agents coming up too. So everybody's playing for something. Young guys are playing for more snaps. Guys are free agents are playing for their careers. Yeah. So it's not really hard to keep everybody going just because everybody's back is kind of against the wall right now. You
came in with Pittsburgh 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time, and my question is going to be whether you came at the tail end of it or the beginning of a new time when you understood because they told you very clearly that special teams was your way to get onto the roster, but you didn't want to be a special teams player. That's not why you came. And I just have a sense that today that's not necessarily untrue, except there are guys who I think really embrace the role of playing on special teams now. Is that a fair statement, accurate statement?
Absolutely. There's guys, when every team has a special teams ace. Guys who don't get a lot of snaps on offensive defense, but they're the guy on special teams. We highlight them every game. We highlight 3 guys. They call them red dots. So every game we have 3 opponents on their team. That's their special teams aces. And those guys won't see offensive defense snaps at all. So you embrace that role. I mean, like I said, it's a blessing to be in this league. No matter the capacity that you're in, you just want to be here.
But you didn't feel that way when you signed with the Steelers, did you?
No, absolutely not. I wanted to be CeeDee Lamb for sure. Yeah, I was a wide receiver, so yeah, I wanted.
Well, you didn't want to be CeeDee Lamb because he would have been like 4 or something like that. Yeah,
don't age me. Yeah, but
yeah, well, I mean, it is what it is.
Now I was with Antonio Brown, so of course I wanted to be like those guys. Yeah.
So what was it that ultimately clicked in your head and said, "Hey, I want to"? Or what helped you grow into that, embracing the role of being a special teams guy?
That was when I went to Atlanta. That's when I first made the roster, and special teams was just something I could play. I played very well, and that helped me get on the team, obviously. And it helped me get some snaps on defense as well. So as long as I'm on the team, I don't care what it is. But then what switched for me is after Atlanta released me, I got to another team. I can't remember where I went. Arizona. Yeah, dang, you know more than me. But, yeah, I went to Arizona, and that was just my role. Like, I didn't even really practice DB. Then I got to Dallas, played a little DB here and there. But
there was a little Cincinnati sprinkled in there somewhere, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah, that was on practice. But that was why I didn't make the roster because I didn't play a lot of corner. So, I was a special teams guy. Luckily, they had a great special teams coach as well, and Simmons, I believe his name is. But he wanted me on the team, but, it happened. We're going on practice squad. Then Dallas picked me up off their practice squad. KO, specifically for special teams.
Keith O'Quinn,
yeah,
right?
Keith O'Quinn, I'm sorry.
I know, that's
yeah,
all right.
Yeah. And then, I kind of flourished at special teams, but, still play a little bit of corner if need be. Then when the new staff got here, it was like, hey, this is what you do. Make sure the locker room's good. And, just do what you do.
Before I forget this, because I was literally thinking about this today, you are a great example of making, the way you put it was great, being a star at understanding your role, being a role player. Now, once upon a time, that was a curse. You used to call someone a role player, you just insulted them, right?
Right.
Am I right?
You are right.
But you are the best example I know of someone who said, okay, I have a role, and I will make that role a big deal. Was that a process? Is that something that came naturally to you? Did you have to learn it?
No, it's a process. It's definitely a process. Because, like you said, you want to be, a star. You want to be a offensive, defensive guy. It may not shake out for you, so I'm gonna be the best at whatever I do. And thankfully, I played well enough that I'm considered one of the best at what I do. So anybody, if you're here and you get a helmet on Sunday, go be the best at whatever it is. If you're a snapper, if you're a holder, be the best. So I mean, that's just the process that you have to go through.
Who changed you from wide receiver to cornerback?
Atlanta. His name was Marquard Manuel. He was the DB coach. Week 17 of 2015, I was running a route, and I broke down pretty good, whatever. And he was like, hey, man, why don't you, the fastest way you can get on the field is.
Now, he's the DB coach.
He's the DB coach.
So that's like being in high school, and you might be a really good football player, but the basketball coach sees you and says, you know what you ought to do?
Yeah.
You ought to come over here and play basketball.
Well, it was the reverse for me.
Kind of happened.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, but he moved me from offense to defense, and that next year I ended up making the team. Yeah.
What did you like playing better? Wide receiver, cornerback, which one? I know you said you want to be a CeeDee Lamb, but
I actually I like playing corner way
Really?
better. Yeah, I would much rather hit somebody than get hit. I don't know how these dudes are just getting teed off on like that. It's crazy. Yeah.
okay.
Before we get away from Pittsburgh, this is a part of the story you have told many times, but I think it's so great. One of the greatest cornerbacks that ever played the game, Mel Blount, Hall of Famer. I still think he might have been the best cornerback I've ever seen.
There we go.
Because he's like 6'5".
Yeah, still. Yeah.
It's still.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was built, when he played, he was built like a linebacker, not like a cornerback. And he would hit you, and you stayed hit till 2 weeks from now, right? Right? He influenced you in other ways than football.
Yeah, very much so.
Tell that story, please.
Very much so. He's like, like a guardian angel for me, I guess. And my family, our families are really close. But my first encounter with him, my brother and his middle son are the same age, so they played on the same AAU basketball team. And I was at the game watching them, and he seen me. I had 2 earrings in, and I was sagging my pants.
And you're how old?
I was 17.
Okay.
And I was working a job at the time. I was a playground instructor. I was getting probably about $4 an hour. Back then it was legal. I don't know how. But so he was like, hey, how you doing? I'm Mr. Mel. I'm Mr. Mel Blount. I was like, I know who you are. And he was like, well, you want a job? He was like, man, I'll pay you $10 an hour to come work on my farm.
Now, was this just because he saw you and there was something about your appearance that to him didn't go with what he thought you could be?
It had to be, because he didn't know me other than from my brother, and he never spoke to me before, so it had to be something. But he said, I'll give you the job, but first you got to take your earrings out, pull your pants up. I was like, oh, I never wore earrings again since then. Yeah, but so I worked for him on the farm for a year. It was some labor. Yeah.
You baled hay?
Yeah, we did all that. I was more cutting grass and tending to the horses. We did some stuff with the cows. I don't know what it's called, but I'm from West Virginia, but I fancy myself a city guy.
But you shoveled out some stalls.
I did all that. Yeah, I did all that. Yeah, and it was fun. It was actually fun because you got to be around horses. You got to see their personalities and whatnot, and it was cool. And then it was on a youth home, so it was a boys' home. So he put me up there as a youth counselor for 6 years after that. So I worked for him 7 years total.
So the guy you are to C.D. Lamb today,
I
that's who you were back then when you were a youth counselor.
I don't know if I'm not influential to CD, but yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
I mean,
yeah.
that's where it started, right?
Okay, yes.
How much did you enjoy that, working with Mel?
It was actually cool because he's a real down-to-earth guy, and his wife is just a ball of fun too. So this is a great family.
And when you look back at just the fact that he saw something in you, how much do you appreciate that now that you are older?
That's a blessing, man. You gotta pay that forward. You gotta pay that forward. I mean, he wanted to fire me plenty of times, but his wife saved me so many times. Yeah.
Okay, and he also came into play, obviously, later in your career in Pittsburgh, obviously needing the call to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
I know we'll get to that in a second.
Okay, all right.
We're
holding on from the
good stories. Hold on,
Okay.
good stories.
Okay.
But
Well, go ahead. We're on that train.
Okay,
Now,
let's do it.
We'll take our break in a minute after you get him to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, you were obviously trying to get an opportunity to play at the NFL level, and he made the call to Pittsburgh just on your behalf in order to get you there. What did that mean to you then?
It meant the world because he never seen me play football.
Yeah.
He just heard that I was pretty good. He heard that I was a pretty good athlete. He knew my numbers from the pro day, and he knew I was getting other calls from different teams, but nothing materialized. So he made the call just because of what he thought my character was. He was like, man, I can put my name behind this guy because I know he's a good dude. He just made the call. Nothing was promised, of course. And he was like, man, you just get a workout, and whatever happens, happens. And I didn't get signed that day, but I remember like yesterday, I got the call, voicemail saying, how fast can you get up here? I told him I'll walk if I need to. Yeah.
Do you still have that voicemail to this day?
I wish I kept it. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
That was before he was a smart mentor.
Yeah. There it is.
CJ Goodwin's our
Good
guest
point.
tonight on the Cowboys Hour. We're at Sidecar Social at the Star District in Frisco. Nicole just reached for her phone. Is he going to throw this to me now?
I got it prepared
Or we
for
gonna
you.
But we're
Don't
going to do it
worry.
on the other side of the break. We'll be right back with CJ Goodwin.
Go Cowboys! Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
All right, welcome back into Cowboys Hour here at Sidecar, and I don't hear anybody clapping, nothing, no energy. Can we bring it? Nicole Hutchison here with Brad Sham and CJ Goodwin, and our segment is brought to you by Lucchese. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at Lucchese's 6 DFW locations or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Brad, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, okay. If it'll make you comfortable, Nicole, I will. Did you ever, CJ, once you became a special teams ace and you knew this is what I am and what I can be, did you have favorite special teams players around the league, maybe even guys you adopted as role models, whether they knew it or not?
Yeah, it would be a sin if I didn't say Matthew Slater, right?
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. That was in my mind.
Slater was a great competitor. When we played, he was a real humble dude, very nice dude. And every time we played against each other, man, it was always a great matchup. I got pointers from him all the time. There's a few guys. Rudy he was with Green Bay. Rudy, he's number 20 out there. It was a good friend of mine as well. I mean, there's a lot of guys you probably won't know their names, but these are really good guys to play against.
I mean, if I had more to go on than Rudy, I might.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his last name.
That's all right.
He's going to be mad at me when I tell him I forgot his name after this. But and J.T. Gray from New Orleans, he's a really good. He's a Pro Bowl guy almost every year. He's really good. There's a lot of guys, man. I like guys at my position. Those are, that run gunner and all that. So those guys right there, man, are really good dudes. The role model.
When we had Hunter Lipke here a few weeks ago, wearing number 40, and I asked him if he'd ever heard of Bill Bates, and of course he hadn't because he's 15 years old. But Bill Bates was. He was a safety. He played safety at Tennessee, and he came into the team as a free agent. He was a safety, but he was the first Pro Bowl special teams player in the league. They created the special teams Pro Bowl spot for Bill Bates.
Wow!
Because of how good Tom Landry was the head coach, put him on special teams. Did a little punt returning, but he wasn't really a punt returner. He was just a demon.
Yeah.
And smart,
Love that.
When you say Slater, and now there's a bunch of those guys. So what I need you to play another year or two, because I want so the Cowboys have a wall just outside their locker room where every player who's ever played in a Pro Bowl, now it would be the Pro Bowl games, but has been picked for the Pro Bowl, his name and the years are up there. And I think Bill Bates and Jim Schwantz, are those the only two, Scott, who were Cowboys? So I need to see C.J. Goodwin up there because I think you've earned that.
I've been an alternate a few times, probably 4 times. I've been an alternate. Never made the cut, but I'm not too worried about the Pro Bowl. I want to win a Super Bowl.
I understand. I understand. Those are all things that happen when the team is good, and there's only so much you can control of that. You just have to control your own position. The young men coming into the league, you touched on this earlier, but I'm interested to know the young men coming into the league now, are they more eager to embrace the role of playing special teams? I think immediately of Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell coming in together. Once upon a time, Everson Walls, who's a great cornerback, he and Michael Downs were rookie free agent safeties, both from Dallas, who made the team the same year as rookie free agents because of what they did in preseason on special teams. Do you see guys more eager to embrace the role now?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's just the culture that Bones curates. It really is. Like, he makes it fun to be on special teams. Even Mike, he emphasizes special teams. We have a special team award. People are embracing that role, and people actually want to be stars in that role. Like Marquise Bell, if he wouldn't have got hurt, he'd have been a Pro Bowl guy this year. It would have been hands down. He'd have been in the Pro Bowl. It's just I mean, like I said, Bones, he curates that type of vibe, man, that energy. Like, it's never a dull moment in there. And he knows that this is not people's dream to play special teams. So he makes it, like, fun, you know? Like, his meetings are always fun. He's always dunking on somebody, or he's always got a trick up his sleeve. It's always just a good time.
I love how you mentioned Bones, because that's everyone who plays special teams obviously talks about the culture, like you mentioned, that he's created and how much confidence he instills in every one of those guys in that room. How much confidence has he instilled in you?
The utmost confidence, man. He instilled confidence by placing me in a leadership role. Like, now I have to be confident in what I do, because those guys are looking at me for their confidence sometimes. So, you know, we had a rough game yesterday, but special teams not going to quit. Like, we're not going to do that. We still going to run all the way down the field as hard as we can, just because, like, that's our culture. Yeah. We're going to fight. You know, they're going to throw 30 flags, but that's our culture. We are going to fight to the end.
Well, I was going to say, as a matter of fact, you're not going to quit. As a matter of fact, we might be at the end of the game, and it may be nearly over, and all of a sudden there may be a fight carrying right up the tunnel.
100%.
Where were you on the field when that broke out, and what did you see?
I actually could have been over there first after the three guys were.
Well, you're too smart for that now.
No, I was just like, well, we got it. It's 2 against 1.
Yeah,
we're going to win that one. So I just start running. And
you understand, 7 years ago, you'd have been in a dead sprint.
Yeah, 7 years ago, I'd have been ran over there. I'd have got thrown out too, for sure. But I was like jogging over there. Hopefully they was going to stop. And then I just seen a whole bunch of flags fly in the air. So I just started running after the flags, trying to catch them. It was fun. I mean, it was fun until it got a little ugly. And then, you know, we got it all spread apart.
So they're over there brawling. You over there trying to catch flags.
How you think I'm about to happen?
He's 11 years.
Smart move.
Did not last 11 years and more to come by running into a burning building.
No, if it was 2 against 1 on their side, like, and it was one of us and 2 of them, I would have broke it up.
Okay.
But we had it. Yeah.
Have you looked back at the play?
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
It was just a football play. I think it was people, you know, getting aggressive. If I got 2 people on me, and
you've had that
all the time. Yeah, I'm wanting to fight too. And then once we breaking up, and it is what it is. But I mean, tempers were flying. It's a part of the game.
But young Mr. Brown had nothing to be number 21 for the Eagles. He didn't have anything to be angry about. They were winning big.
Yeah, but you're not gonna let nobody push you though, right?
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody was mad. Like, it's just part of the game. Nobody. I mean, it was just a fight. Fights happen all the time in football. It's a part of the game.
I want to get back to Bones real quick. Sorry, real fast. Because something that also Brandon Aubrey had told me, that as a kicker, if you mess up, he's there to fight for you. And just having a coach like that, what does that mean for you?
Man, he'll take the blame for something that's truly not his fault. He does it all the time. He's just a good dude. Like, he's a great coach, obviously, but he's just honestly just a really good dude. Yeah. And it's weird because you'll never see him have a bad day. Like, he's been through some things too, some rough things, like in front of us, and like it's just always just a good spirit, man. Like, I'll always go to bat for Bones. Like, even when I'm not a Cowboy, like he's just a great guy.
He does always have like a good spirit about him, like throughout the building. I love that about him.
Have you seen him get chewed out and just stand there and take it?
Yeah. Ooh.
Really?
Yeah. And one of them was my fault too.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Atlanta, the nonstop. I could have did better than what I did, but he got chewed. Ooh, my goodness, he got chewed out after the game in the locker room, and like I was going to go over there and be like, yo, it's my fault, but he kind of like pushed me back, and just took it. He was like, man, it's part of the game.
He understands. He's talked about that publicly, that he understands if there's something like a trick play and it works, then. Way to go, head coach, for letting that go.
Right.
And if it doesn't work, then the special teams coach is an idiot.
Yeah. It wasn't the head coach, by the way, but yeah.
I understand. No, I understand. But it's the same principle.
Disclaimer.
Same principle. So do you think, on balance, for the group, your group, has this been a good year for special teams, or for special teams, or a year a little less than what you would have liked?
I mean, Terp scored 2 touchdowns. We have three special team touchdowns this year. I don't know any other year that happened for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know how you. And I think Terp is on a pace to break a record on kick return. I don't know how we can say that was a bad year, but I mean, we haven't let up any touchdowns.
By the way, for the record, I would like the jury to recognize that I never said the word bad. I never said bad year.
Yeah. But if it's not great, then it's bad to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I think we had a good year, and we fought, and we always will fight, and we fought to the end.
One of the things Bones brought with him is a reputation for trick plays. They're genius when they work, and it's like any play on offense, right? It's a great. The Cowboys had an offensive coordinator back a couple of decades ago, one of the greatest offensive coaches ever in the league, Ernie Zampese. Ernie used to say, I asked him one day, I said, what's a good call to you? He said, if it works. and we all know you can have a brilliant call that doesn't work, but for Ernie, no, it doesn't work. So if there's a fake punt and it doesn't get a first down and lead to it, then it was a bad play. I mean, there have been a few of those this year, but how do you view that in gauging whether the year has been as successful as you all would like it or a little bit less?
That's just us being aggressive. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. So that's why just because they didn't work doesn't mean we didn't have a great year. We had a great year doing everything else other than the trick plays that we had. There's a lot of things that people overlook. The fact that Turp did that spin move.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
That's an all-time play right there. We did a lot of great things. So 3 fakes that didn't work is not going to lessen the impact that we had on trying to help our team win.
By the way, that was in Washington, and of course, right before the spin move, he muffed the kick.
Yes.
How did that come up in conversation with him when you guys broke it down?
Turp is, how do you say this, like PG? Turp is insane. He's insane. Like to think, like, all these dudes are going 100 miles, literally 22 miles an hour, trying to hit me as hard as they can. I'm gonna pause after I drop the ball. I'm gonna pause, then do some crazy spin move, and then just run. Like that you got to be insane to do something like that.
It has to be insane, obviously, because y'all have so many weapons and special teams alone.
We got a lot of weapons. That's the credit to the coaching staff as well. Yeah.
That's crazy.
CJ Goodwin's our guest. It's our final Cowboys Hour of the year. We'll have questions from the audience and more with CJ when we come back on the Cowboys Hour.
back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons and broadcasting live from Sidecar Social at the Star in Frisco.
For our last Cowboys Hour of the season, Brad Sham, Nicole Hutchison, our very special guest, Cowboys special teams ace, CJ Goodwin. I listen, of course I know you, but I listen to the answers you give. These are thoughtful answers, and I hear somewhere down the road, I hear a coach talking.
Ooh. I hear you.
Question mark.
I hear you. I know the coaches kind of want me to coach too.
Do they?
Yeah.
Say more.
A couple of them approached me about coaching. They're there all day though, man. Like all day. I got younger kids too, and football kind of took away my time from that too. So that's something maybe not as soon as I'm done, but maybe a year or so after.
How old are the kids?
My youngest is 4. She'll be 4 in February.
That's
February what?
February 10th.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pisces?
No, Aquarius. She's right after me.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Drew Pearson, the great Drew Pearson, Hall of Fame receiver. His career ended prematurely. He was in an automobile accident, lost part of his spleen. And he was so smart and so good that Tom Landry said, "Why don't you come join the coaching staff?" And he did that for he did it for 1 year. Now this is 50 years ago, but he did it for 1 year. He said, "Man, those guys are there all day, all night, every day, and they don't make anything. They make no money. Hell with that. I'm not doing any of that anymore." Let's get some questions from our audience.
Good evening. Good evening, CJ. How are you?
Man, I'm blessed, man. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you. My name is Rambo.
Oh.
So, obviously, you have a few years still left in football, and you looks like you're kind of leaning a little bit towards maybe not coaching. Would you end up like Brad and Nicole and go into broadcasting?
No, I don't know how they do this. Yeah, this is amazing what they do. Yeah. To speak like that, you should hear me stuttering already. So no, I will not. Yeah.
But
Good
thank
question.
you.
Yeah,
but
thank you.
you.
Man, Rambo. I like that name too.
And he enjoys telling it.
How you doing? I'm Tony from Dallas.
Oh, man.
When the season's over, off-season workouts, when do you start, and how much time do you take off before you start to get back into getting ready for the grind?
I usually take a month off and start, late February. But this year I got to change it up. My oldest daughter, 13, she's actually playing running track this year. So I got to show her a few things about how to run. So I'm probably gonna start in 2 weeks as soon as the season's over, man. I appreciate that question, man. Thank you.
Did you run track as a kid?
Yeah, I was pretty fast. To believe it or not.
No, I've seen you. I believe you.
Nah, yeah. But
What were your events?
Just the sprints, 100, 200, and relays. I was fast. I didn't really have technique. I was just raw, but training for the NFL, I had to learn technique.
And what are her events? Yep. Sorry.
Same. She's gonna be a sprinter. I don't know how fast she is, but she wants to do sprints. So I'm gonna show her everything I know.
That's what I was going to ask.
Did you run track?
Oh, my dad tried to punish me running track one summer. We don't want to talk about that. It's fine.
So what? People like me who don't have any background in track, other than enjoy watching it, like what techniques can you show her and help her with?
There's a lot of like fast twitch things that I did training for the NFL that I want to teach her, like quick twitch. So I want to show her that. I want to show her how to hold her hands. Most people run tense. It's more of a relaxing thing that she should be doing. Staying low, driving through 7. There's some things that I learned from my trainer back home that helped me with my 40, and I just want to show her all the same things.
Did she ask for your help?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And she's not going to be willing to receive it either, but we'll get it done. Yeah.
That was me with my dad in tennis. But
So-
it's fine. We eventually listen. I promise.
Did you say 14?
It's 13.
13?
Yeah.
Well, the good news is it'll make it a little easier when you start teaching her how to drive.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Silver lining.
Yeah.
All right, CJ, Larry from McKinney.
My man.
I remember going back when I was in middle school and I played football, and just the wonderful feeling of having your parents or friends going to watch perform. Does that feeling still continue to be strong now that you're in the NFL to have that kind of approach of family and friends there?
Man, you trying to make me cry, huh? Come on, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. My family is actually enjoying this way more than I am. They are. They come to every game. They fly down here using the last couple of dollars to come down here and watch me play. They're like I said, they're honestly more excited. My stepdad, it's annoying because he's like a fan. Like, yo, you've raised me. Why are you a fan? Like, it's weird. But my parents are honestly, and my brother, he's living the dream. So, man, honestly, thank you for that question. I hope they hear this too. Y'all get on my nerves, but I'm so glad y'all here.
How many times have they changed team allegiances to keep up with you?
So I've been on 7 teams. This is their favorite. We actually grew up Cowboys fans. So this has been the biggest blessing, for our family.
Do they ever make signs when they come to games?
No, they know they can't do that.
What?
They can't do that.
They
My mom is
can't do it?
bedazzled. My mom is real
Oh.
bedazzled, but she looks like a sign with her jackets and stuff. But yeah, she gets bedazzled. We don't do the signs.
Wait.
No signs.
Could we? Any chance we can hear that again?
No, I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. Look, this looks like a question designed to put you on the spot.
Here we go. Let's go. Let me hear it.
What's your favorite food to eat after a long game?
Look at
Good
that.
one.
Look at that. Outstanding.
Ooh, okay. Well, the longest game of the year was yesterday. So what I had to eat, I went to Five Guys. As soon as I got off the plane, went to Five Guys, and I only could eat half because my stomach wasn't up for it. That was a good question, man. Thank you.
Now, here's a question. The rookies at every position, I mean, you get a nice meal on the plane, but the rookies at every position have to bring food, which you've told them that day, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right? So are you in with the DBs for that?
Yeah, I'm in with the DBs.
Yeah. So the rookie defensive backs they come in with whatever it is, fried chicken, Subway sandwich, whatever it is. How much of that do you eat?
So this year's kind of been weird. We only had one rookie, and he got hurt. So, yeah, so we had to get our own stuff. But
Well, that's ridiculous.
yeah, right? Yeah, right? Yeah.
Will he have to do it next year?
No, we're not
Okay.
going to do it. The next rookie will.
Okay.
The next rookie
Hey,
will.
I
He
don't
might have
know.
to. He
I
might
don't
have to
know.
pay though,
May have to
because
pay-
he
you
might have
know,
to
something.
pay. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, how much of that stuff do you eat when they bring it?
So we were doing Popeyes. I don't really like Popeyes. I get Cava. Yeah, shout out to Cava. I had this come see me. But no, but yeah. So not a lot. Honestly, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is, a lot of us don't get to go in the back rooms when you guys are getting done with the games and there's a tough loss. When there's the media trying to separate y'all and say this person's against this person against that, how do you deal with that? What do you do as a mentor to your teammates to kind of not go in the drama?
See, the best question of the year is the
Yes.
last question we take.
Oh my goodness, you trying to really do me dirty? Okay, no, we're all media trained. We're all media trained though. We have the best media people. Shout out to Scott, I see you back there. Yeah, we have the best media people in the league. Not just because he's here. He's honestly, it's the Cowboys, so we're the biggest team, so we're all kind of media trained. But we just support each other. One thing that coach always leads us with, no matter what type of game, good or bad, he always says, protect your teammates. He don't care about anything else but protect your teammates and the media. So that's what we do.
And how do you learn to? Sometimes we have to ask questions that are uncomfortable, but they have to be asked, and that doesn't mean you like hearing them. What do you do when you get a question that just? Well, wait. What was the thing where you? It was the Cincinnati
game,
right?
yeah.
Which was a complete accident for poor Amani.
Right,
yeah.
complete, yeah.
But y'all ain't talking to him.
Yeah, it wasn't the right time. I know I'm not allowed to do that, and I wasn't supposed to do that, but I just didn't feel because he's my teammate. He's actually.
Well, you weren't alone. There were a few of you, right?
Yeah. It was Jordan Lewis as well. We just seen he wasn't in his right state of mind. Like he was crying. You know what I'm saying? And not the right time to ask him a question, man. Let this marinate for a little bit. Let him get out of his feelings, and then talk to him at a later date. And they talked to him. And he did well. He told him exactly what happened.
He came out. That was on Monday night game. He came out on Wednesday. He was brilliant. Handled it like a pro. Speaking of handling it like a pro, you see why C.J. Goodwin's one of my all-time favorites, and why the Cowboys need to find a way to keep him involved in this for a long, long time. Thank him. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank
Really
you so
appreciate
much.
you, man.
Appreciate
You
it.
know
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
CJ Goodwin, everybody. So, Nicole, thank you for the year.
Oh, thank you.
This has been
For the
so
year.
much fun. Ivan and Paul, you guys keep the show on the air. You are it. Thanks to all of you who've come every week. It's been so much fun being with you every Monday, and we will look forward to being back with you, God willing, in August, here or somewhere near here, for the 2025 season on the Cowboys Hour. Happy New Year, everybody.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?